Hello everyone. This is an audio recorded lecture for visually impaired students on the topic ethers and epoxides from organic chemistry. Introduction. Organic compound having COC as the functional group are called ethers. Their general formula is ROR dash, where R and R dash may be same or different alkyl or aryl groups, or one of them may be an alkyl group and the other aryl group. The divalent oxygen is also called the ethereal oxygen. Ethers in which group R and R dash are the same are called simple or symmetrical ethers, while those in which the groups R and R dash are different are called mixed or unsymmetrical ethers. For example, diethyl ether is symmetrical, diphenyl ether is symmetrical, ethyl methyl ether is unsymmetrical, and methyl phenyl ether is also unsymmetrical. Ethers may be regarded as the functional isomers of alcohols. For example, both dimethyl ether and ethyl alcohol have the same molecular formula C2H6O but different functional group. Next is classifications. Ethers may be broadly classified into the following three categories. First, aliphatic ethers. Aliphatic ethers are the ethers in which R and R dash may be saturated or unsaturated group derived from aliphatic hydrocarbon. For example, ethyl methyl ether, methyl vinyl ether, and divinyl ether. Second is aromatic ethers. These are the ethers in which ether 1 or both R and R dash are aryl group. For example, methyl phenyl ether, ethyl phenyl ether, and diphenyl ether. Aromatic ethers are further subdivided into phenolic ethers and diaryl ethers. Ethers in which one of the group is aryl while the other is alkyl are called phenolic ethers or alkyl aryl ethers. On the other hand, ethers in which both the groups are aryl are called diaryl ethers. For example, methyl phenyl ether is phenolic ether and diphenyl ether is diaryl ether. Third classification of ethers is cyclic ethers. Ethers in which the oxygen is present in a ring are called cyclic ethers. They are further classified as simple cyclic ethers or crown ethers. Simple cyclic ethers. Cyclic ethers containing 1, 2 or 3 oxygen atom in the ring are called simple cyclic ethers. For example, oxyrane, oxetane, tetrahydrofuran, tetrahydropyran, 1,4-dioxane and 1,3,5-trioxane. Second, crown ethers. Cyclic ethers containing at least 4 oxygen atom are called crown ethers because their three-dimensional shape resemble the shape of a crown. They are usually named as X crown Y, where X is the total number of atoms in the ring and Y is the number of oxygen atom. For example, 12 crown 4, 15 crown 5 and 18 crown 6. Next is nomenclature of ethers. First, open chain or acyclic ethers. First way of nomenclature is common system. The common names of the ether are derived by naming the two alkyl or aryl group linked to the oxygen atom in alphabetical order and adding the word ether. In case of symmetrical ethers, the prefix di is used before the name of the alkyl or the aryl group. Some aromatic ethers, however, have their special names. For example, methyl phenyl ether is called anisole and ethyl phenyl ether is called phenetol. Second method is IUPAC name. In the IUPAC system, ethers are named as alkoxyalkanes. The ethyl oxygen is taken with the smaller alkyl group and form a part of the alkoxy group, while the larger alkyl group is considered to be a part of the alkane. Next is for acyclic polyethers. Long chain polyethers are named as oxoderivatives of the alkane corresponding to the total number of carbon and oxygen atom present in the chain. For example, 2,5-dioxahexane, 2,5,8-trioxanonane. Third is cyclic ethers. Common names in cyclic ethers. The three-membered cyclic ethers are named as oxides of the alkylene from which they are derived. For example, ethylene oxide or epoxide, propylene oxide, and isobutylene oxide. The names of some cyclic ethers are based upon the name of their fully hydrogenated products. For example, furan gives tetrahydrofuran, 4-H-pyran or 2-H-pyran gives tetrahydropyran, that is THP. Next is IUPAC name. The IUPAC name of the cyclic ethers CH2O into N, where N is the number given below. The italicized portion of these names are the suffix used to represent the size of saturated heterocyclic rings other than with N atoms. In case of substituted cyclic ethers, the substituents are indicated by numerical prefix, with the oxygen atom getting number 1. Oxanemes cyclic ethers are also named as oxa derivative of their corresponding cycloalkanes. For example, oxacyclopropane, oxacyclobutane, oxacyclopentane, and so on. Next is method of formation of ethers. Ethers can be prepared by the following general method. First, from alkyl halides. From alkyl halides, it can be prepared by Williamson's synthesis. This is one of the best methods for the preparation of ethers. It involves the treatment of an alkyl halide with a suitable sodium alkoxide. The sodium alkoxide needed for the purpose is prepared by the action of sodium on a suitable alcohol. The reaction, in fact, involves the nucleophilic displacement of the halide ion from the alkyl halide by the alkoxide ion by SN2 mechanism. This method can be used for the preparation of both symmetrical or asymmetrical ethers. For example, sodium ethoxide when react with ethyl bromide at 330 Kelvin temperature, then substitution reaction will occur and give diethyl ether as a product. Similarly, alkyl aryl ether, phenolic ethers can be easily prepared by treating sodium phenoxide with alkyl halides. For example, when sodium phenoxide is treated with methyl bromide, then anisole is formed as product. Like halide ions, sulfate ion is a good Lewis group. Therefore, in Williamson synthesis, alkyl halide may be replaced by alkyl sulfonate. For example, when sodium ethoxide react with dimethyl sulfate, it gives ethyl methyl ether. Similarly, when sodium phenoxide react with dimethyl sulfate, it gives phenitol. Limitations of Williamson synthesis. A proper choice of alkyl halide and sodium alkoxide to be used in Williamson synthesis is necessary in view of the following consideration. First, since a halogen attached to a double bond or an aromatic ring cannot be readily displaced by nucleophilic reagent, therefore aryl halides are not generally used in Williamson synthesis. Therefore, for the synthesis of simple alkyl aryl ethers, the reaction is carried out between an alkyl halide and sodium phenoxide and not between aryl halide and sodium alkoxide. For example, when sodium phenoxide react with ethyl iodide, it gives phenantol, and when bromobenzene react with sodium ethoxide, it has no reaction. However, if the halogen is activated by the presence of electron withdrawing group at ortho and para positions with respect to the halogen atom, such activated halides can be used in Williamson synthesis. For example, when para nitrobromobenzene react with sodium ethoxide, then para nitroanisole is formed. Second limitation is, we have stated above that Williamson synthesis involve nucleophilic attack of the alkoxide phenoxide ion on an alkyl halide. Now, depending upon the structure, alkyl halide may undergo substitution or elimination reaction. Therefore, for the success of this reaction, it is essential that the alkyl halide used must be such which predominantly undergoes nucleophilic substitution. Since primary alkyl halide are more susceptible to SN2 reactions, therefore best yield of unsymmetrical ether are obtained when the halides are primary and alkoxide may be primary, secondary or tertiary. For example, tert-butyl ethyl ether is prepared by treating ethyl bromide with sodium tert butoxide. The above ether cannot be prepared by treating sodium ethoxide with tert-butyl chloride or bromide, since under these conditions an alkene that is isobutylene is the main product. With secondary alkyl halide, both substitution and elimination occur together, giving a mixture of ethers and alkenes, but with tertiary alkyl halides, only elimination occurs, giving alkenes. Thus, when a mixture of tert butyl bromide is treated with sodium ethoxide, tert butyl ethyl ether is not formed, but instead 2-methyl propene is formed due to elimination reaction. Due to steric hindrance, secondary alkyl halide also prefer to go elimination rather than substitution. For example, when 2-bromopropane react with CH3CH2ONA at 330 Kelvin temperature, then propene and 2-ethoxypropane is formed, from which propene is the major product. Second reaction of ethers is reaction of alkyl halide with dry silver oxide. Ethers can also be prepared by heating an aryl halide with dry silver oxide. For example, when ethyl bromide reacts with silver oxide, it gives diethyl ether. Second, from alcohols. Ethers may be prepared from alcohols as follow. First, by dehydration of alcohols. Ether may be prepared by dehydration of alcohol either in the presence of acid or heated alumina. A. Acid catalyzed dehydration. Symmetrical ethers can be prepared by dehydration of alkanes of alcohols with concentrated H2SO4 at 413 Kelvin temperature. The yield of ether, however, depend upon the nature of alcohol, whether it is primary, secondary or tertiary. Since in this reaction 2 molecules of an alcohol lose 1 molecule of water, therefore it is better called an intermolecular dehydration. Limitations. Though this method is useful for the large scale production of ether, it has two major drawbacks. First, the preparation of ethers is always accompanied by the formation of alkenes due to intermolecular dehydration of alcohols. However, in case of primary alcohols, the alkenes are formed only to small extent, which can be further suppressed by using a large excess of the alcohol. In case of secondary alcohol, alkenes are formed in much larger amount than ethers, but in case of tertiary alcohol, exclusive formation of ethers occurs. Thus, the order of dehydration of alcohol leading to the formation of ethers follows the sequence primary, then secondary, and then tertiary. Therefore, dehydration of alcohol is used only for preparing ethers from primary alcohols. Second limitation, this method is not suitable for unsymmetrical ethers because a complex mixture of ethers is always obtained. Next is, these are the two limitations while preparing ethers from alcohols. Second is catalytic dehydration. Dehydration of alcohols to ethers can also be achieved by passing the vapors of an alcohol over heated alumina at 523 Kelvin. For example, when ethyl alcohol is heated in the presence of Al2O3 at 523 Kelvin temperature, then diethyl ether is formed. Second is by the action of diazomethane or alcohol or phenol. Methyl ethers can also be prepared in excellent yields by the action of diazomethane on alcohols or phenols in the presence of tetrafluoroboric acid HbF4 as catalyst. For example, when tetrafluoroboric acid is reacted with diazomethane, then a complex is formed, and when ethyl alcohol is treated with diazomethane, then ethyl methyl ether is formed. Next is from alkenes. Ethers can be prepared from reactive alkenes by the following two methods. First, direct addition of alcohols in presence of acid as a catalyst. For example, when 2-methylpropene is reacted with methanol in the presence of H2SO4, following the Markovnich's addition rule, it gives 2-methoxy 2-methylpropane. The main disadvantage of this method is that sometimes the initially formed carbocation rearranged to the more stable carbocation which then react with alcohol to form rearranged ether. For example, when 3,3-dimethyl 1-butene is react with C2H5OH, that is ethanol, in the presence of H2SO4, it gives two products. First rearranged product and second normal product. Rearranged product formed is 2-ethoxy-2,3-dimethylbutane, and the normal product is 3-ethoxy-2,2-dimethylbutane. Second is indirect addition of alcohols. Alkoxymercuration reduction. Alkenes rarely react with mercuric trifluoroacetate in the presence of an alcohol to give alkoxymercurol compound, which upon reduction with NaBH4 in basic medium give ether in the high yield. For example, when propene react with ethanol and mercuric trifluoroacetate, it finally gives 2-ethoxypropane as a product. Next is this two-step is called alkoxymercuration reduction or alkoxymercuration dermicuration and gives ether in accordance with Markovnich's addition of alcohols to alkene. The main advantage of this method over Williamson synthesis are: first, the reaction does not involve carbocation intermediate and hence there are no rearrangement in this reaction. Second, absence of competing elimination reaction. Last method for the preparation of ethers is from Grignard reagent. Higher ethers can be prepared by treating alpha haloethers with suitable Grignard reagent. For example, when methoxychloromethane is treated with CH3MgI in the presence of dry ether, then ethyl methyl ether and chloromanganese iodide is formed. Next topic is physical properties of ethers. Before that, we will see the four method of preparation of ethers, from which the first method is from alkyl halides. Second method is from alcohols. And the third method for the preparation is from alkenes, and fourth is from Grignard reagent. So now we will discuss the physical properties of ethers. First physical property is physical state, color and odor. Dimethyl ether and ethyl methyl ethers are gases at ordinary temperature, while the other two lower homologues of ethers are colorless liquid with characteristic ether smell. Second, dipolar nature. Because of the greater electronegativity of oxygen than carbon, the CO bonds are slightly polar and thus have a dipole moment. Since the two carbon-oxygen bonds in ether are inclined to each other at an angle of 110 degree, the two dipoles do not cancel each other. As a result, ethers have a dipole moment of 1.15 to 1.3 d. For example, the dipole moment of dimethyl ether is 1.3 d and that of diethyl ether is 1.18 d. Third is boiling point. Ethers are isomeric with monohydric alcohol, but their boiling point are much lower than the isomeric alcohol. This is due to the reason that unlike alcohol, ether do not form hydrogen bond. As a result, ethers do not show molecular association and hence have low boiling point than the corresponding alcohol. Further, the weak polarity of the carbon-oxygen bond does not appreciably affect the boiling point of ethers, which are about the same as those of alkane with comparable molecular masses. Next is solubility. Next property is solubility. Ethers containing up to 3 carbon atoms are soluble in water. The solubility of other lower ethers in water is comparable to those of corresponding alcohols. For example, like ethanol dimethyl ether is completely miscible with water. Similarly, both diethyl ether and N-butyl alcohol are soluble in water to the same extent, that is 8 gram per 1000 gram of water. The solubility of lower ethers in water is due to the formation of hydrogen bond between water and ether molecule. As the molecular mass increases, The solubility of ether in water decreases due to a corresponding increase in the hydrocarbon portion of the molecule. Ethers are, however, fairly soluble in common organic solvents such as alcohol, benzene, chloroform, acetone, etc. Fifth property is density. All ethers are lighter than water. Next topic is chemical properties of ethers. First property is reaction of the ethereal oxygen. On account of the presence of two lone pair of electron on the oxygen atom, ethers behave as Lewis bases and thus undergo reaction involving the formation of coordinate bond as discussed below. First, action of concentrated acid. Formation of oxonium salt. The oxygen atom in ether has two lone pair of electrons. As a result, ethers behave as Lewis base and thus dissolve in cold concentrated inorganic acid to form stable oxonium salt. These are some examples of the above reaction. Next is formation of coordination complexes. Being Lewis base, ether form coordination complexes known as etherates with Lewis acid such as BF3, AlCl3, FeCl3 and Grignard reagent etc. For example, when dimethyl ether react with BF3, it gives boron in fluoride etherate. Similarly, when diethyl ether react with Grignard reagent, it gives Grignard reagent etherate. Due to the formation of these complexes, Grignard reagent dissolve in ether. That is why Grignard reagent are usually prepared in ethers. They, however, cannot be prepared in benzene because benzene has a lone pair of electrons and hence cannot form complexes with them. Second chemical property is reaction involving the cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond. First reaction in cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond is with halogen acid. Ethers are readily cleaved by hydroiodic acid or hydrobromic acid at 373 Kelvin to form an alcohol and an alkyl halide. For example, ether react with alkyl halide at 373 Kelvin to give alcohol and alkyl halide. However, if excess of acid is used, the alcohol first formed react further with the halogen acid to form the corresponding alkyl halide. Similarly, cyclic ethers are readily cleaved by HBr or Hi to yield dihaloalkanes. For example, when tetrahydrofuran react with HBr at 373, then 1,4-dibromobutane is formed. Reactivity of halogen acid. The order of reactivity of halogen acid followed the sequence Hi, then HBr, then HCl. As discussed above, the cleavage of ether by halogen acid in fact involve the nucleophilic attack of the halide ion on the protonated ether molecule. Obviously, greater the nucleophilicity of the halide ion, more reactive is the halogen acid. Since the nucleophilicity of the halide ion follow the sequence iodide, bromide, then chloride, therefore the reactivity of the halogen acid follow the same sequence, that is hydrogen iodide, then hydrogen bromide and then hydrogen chloride. Mechanism. The cleavage of ether by halogen acid occur by the following mechanism. Step first. Ethers being Lewis base undergo protonation to form oxonium salt. Step 2. The protonated ether thus formed undergoes nucleophilic attack by the halide ion. Ether by SN1 or SN2 mechanism depending upon the nature of the groups R and R dash and the reaction conditions to form a molecule of an alkyl halide with the displacement of the weakly basic alcohol molecule. If the group R and R dash are primary, then the reaction occurs by SN2 mechanism, and if secondary or tertiary, then reaction occurs by SN1 mechanism. Site of cleavage. The site of cleavage of unsymmetrical ethers by halogen acid depending upon the nature of the group R and R dash. The following cases arise. First, if both the group R and R dash are primary, the alkyl halide is always obtained from the smaller alkyl group. Second, if one group is methyl and other is alpha primary or alpha secondary alkyl group, the reaction occur by SN2 mechanism. Due to steric hindrance, the halide ion always attack the smaller alkyl group, that is methyl group, to give methyl iodide, while the bulkier alkyl group gives the alcohol. Third, if one group is methyl and other is tert alkyl group, the reaction occur by SN1 mechanism and the formation of product is controlled by the stability of the carbocation resulting from the cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond in protonated ether. Since tert alkyl carbocation is much more stable than methyl carbocation, therefore the alkyl halide is always derived from tert alkyl group and the alcohol from the smaller group, that is methyl group. It may be emphasized here that the high polarity of the solvent, water, present in concentrated HI has favored SN1 mechanism. However, if the cleavage of tert butyl methyl ether is carried out with anhydrous HI in ether, the low polarity of the solvent would favor SN2 mechanism and hence iodide ion will attack the less hindered methyl group, giving methyl iodide and tert butyl alcohol. Fourth, cleavage of alkyl aryl and diaryl ethers. In case of alkyl aryl ethers, the products are always phenol and an alkyl halide and never an aryl halide and an alcohol. The carbon atoms of the phenyl group are sp2 hybridized, while that of the alkyl group are sp3 hybridized. A sp2 hybridized carbon being more electronegative repel the nucleophile, while a sp2 hybridized carbon being less electronegative attract the nucleophile. Diaryl ethers are not cleaved by hydrogen iodide because both the carbon atoms to which oxygen is attached are sp2 hybridized and hence repel the nucleophilic halide ions. Diesel method. Cleavage of alkyl aryl ethers by hydroiodic acid form the basis of Giesel method for the estimation of alkoxy group such as methoxy and ethoxy group in such ethers. A known weight of the phenolic ether is treated with an excess of concentrated hydroiodic acid. The alkyl iodide produced as a result of cleavage of ethers by hydrogen iodide is treated with an ethanolic solution of silver nitrate. The precipitation of silver iodide thus formed is filtered, washed, dried, and weighed. From the amount of AgI formed, the percentage of alkoxy group can be estimated. Second property is with sulfuric acid. On heating with dilute H2SO4 under pressure, ethers are hydrolyzed to alcohols. Second, when heated with concentrated H2SO4, ethers react in the same manner as with halogen acid to form an alcohol and an alkyl hydrogen sulfate. For example, when diethyl ether is treated with concentrated H2SO4, then ethyl alcohol and ethyl hydrogen sulfate is formed. Secondary and tertiary ether, however, form alkenes. Third chemical property of ethers is reaction involving the alkyl group. First, action of air and light, that is autooxidation. Formation of peroxide when exposed to air and light for a long time. Ethers are oxidized to form hyperperoxide or simply peroxides. It is a free radical reaction and oxidation occurs at the carbon atom next to the ethereal oxygen to form hyperperoxide, hydroperoxides. These peroxides are very dangerous compounds since they decompose violently at high temperature. Therefore, serious explosion may occur during distillation of old sample of ethers if peroxides are not removed. Presence of peroxide in old samples of ethers may be detected by shaking them with a freshly prepared solution of FeSO4, followed by the addition of KCNS. Appearance of a red color indicates the presence of peroxides. A simple method to remove peroxide is to shake an old sample of ether with either an aqueous solution of Ki or a ferrous salt. When ether peroxide are reduced to ether and iodide ion is oxidized to iodine and Fe2 positive salt or oxidized to Fe3 positive salt. Second is halogenation. Ethers react with chlorine or bromine to give substitution product. The extent of halogenation, however, depends upon the reaction condition. For example, diethyl ether react with chlorine in the dark to give alpha and alpha dash dichlorodiethyl ether. However, in the presence of light and excess of chlorine, all the hydrogen atoms are substituted to give perchlorodiethyl ether. So this is the preparation, the physical and the chemical properties of ethers. Now we will study about epoxides. Three-membered cyclic ethers are called epoxide. In the common system, they are called oxides, but in the IUPAC system, they are called ether alkene oxides. Next is synthesis of epoxides. There are two main laboratory methods for the synthesis of epoxide. First is epoxidation of alkenes. Alkenes on treatment with peroxy acid, also called peracids, such as perbenzoic acid, metachloroperbenzoic acid, peroxytrifluoroacetic acid, etc. in an inert solvent such as CH2Cl2, CHCl3 or CCl4 give epoxide. Due to the formation of epoxide, the oxidation of alkenes with peracid is commonly known as epoxidation. For example, when alkene react with peroxy acid in the presence of CCl4, it give epoxide. When ethylene react with peroxybenzoic acid in the presence of CCl4, it gives ethylene epoxide and benzoic acid. When cyclohexene react with metachloroperoxybenzoic acid in the presence of CH2Cl2, it gives 1,2-epoxy cyclohexane. Mechanism: peroxy acids act like electrophiles and the reaction is believed to proceed by the following mechanism. When ethylene react with peroxybenzoic acid in the presence of CCl4, then by the transfer of electrons it forms ethylene epoxide and benzoic acid. This is the mechanism shown. Second is from halohydrines. When halohydrines prepared by addition of hypohalous acid to alkenes are treated with a base, HX is eliminated and an epoxide is formed. When ethylene is treated in the presence of Cl2 over H2O, then ethylene chlorohydrin is formed, which further when react with potassium with KOH, it gives ethylene epoxide. Similarly, when cyclohexane react in the presence of Br2 over H2O, it gives 2-bromocyclohexanol, which when further treated with dilute NaOH gives 1,2-epoxy cyclohexane. Mechanism: it may be noted that synthesis of epoxide by base treatment of halohydrines is actually an intramolecular Williamson synthesis. Manufacture of ethylene oxide: it is manufactured by passing a mixture of ethylene and air under pressure over silver catalyzed at 573 Kelvin. Next is chemical reactions of epoxide. First is acid catalyzed ring cleavage of epoxide. Due to the large angle strain, epoxide are readily hydrolyzed by dilute mineral acid at room temperature to form corresponding 1,2-diols. For example, when ethylene epoxide is treated with water in the presence of a proton, then ethylene glycol is formed. Similarly, halogen acids and alcohols in presence of acid can bring about the cleavage of epoxides. Mechanism: in the acid catalyzed hydrolysis of epoxide, the oxygen atom of the epoxide ring first accept a proton to form protonated epoxide. The protonated epoxide then undergo nucleophilic attack by water to give a trans 1,2-diol. Second, base catalyzed ring cleavage of epoxides. Unlike ordinary ethers, epoxide can also be cleaved under basic conditions. When ethylene oxide is treated with water in the presence of OH negative ion, then ethylene glycol is formed. Similarly, sodium alkoxide, ammonia, amines can also bring about cleavage of the epoxide ring. Mechanism: due to greater electronegativity of oxygen than carbon, the carbon atom of the epoxide ring carries a small positive charge and hence can be easily attacked by strong nucleophile such as hydroxide, alkoxide, phenoxide, ammonia, amines, etc. This is the mechanism. Next is stereochemistry of ring cleavage of epoxide. Both acid and base catalyzed ring opening reaction of epoxide occur by acento mechanism. Therefore, attack of the nucleophile always occurs from the backside, leading to the formation of a trans 1,2 diol. Third is reaction with Grignard reagent and organolithium reagent. Epoxide also undergoing opening reaction with Grignard reagent and organolithium compound. The addition product initially formed upon hydrolysis give primary alcohol containing 2 carbon atom more than the Grignard or the organolithium compound. The epoxide generally used in this reaction is ethylene oxide. When phenyl manganese bromide is treated with ethylene oxide in the presence of dry ether, then a addition product is formed, which when further hydrolyzed gives 2-phenyl ethanol. Similarly, when N-butyl lithium is treated with ethylene oxide in the presence of dry hexane, a addition product is formed which when further hydrolyzed gives 1-hexanol. So this is the preparation, physical and chemical properties of ether and oxide. This is all for this video. Thank you.